here, no time to fear. Carell is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Carell is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Donald Trump is on the Hill trying to intimidate the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, something absolutely delicious appeared on social media yesterday, and we got to talk all about it and the Heart Association.
Now it's showtime.
Everybody's wonderful, everybody's beautiful, but this is delicious. Oh, do I have a delicious tidbit that I'm sure you've already heard about, but I just can't wait to talk about it. And Trump is up at the Supreme Court today, sitting there listening to oral arguments like he understands a thing, with his birthright citizenship repeal, which of course is unconstitutional. And if the judges rule any other way, it just shows they are compromised. And all of that is happening today. And we're going to talk more about Congress, the most inept body on the planet. So we got all of that. I'd like to welcome you all to the Carell Cast, whether it's on Apple Music or SoundCloud, or whether you're listening through Progressive Voices, whether you're on iHeart or Spotify, if you're on YouTube, or, of course, my beloved patrons at patreon.com/Willie Carell. You 75 people keep the show going. There would be no show without, I mean that. I'd have to stop the show and do something else. Without your patronage at patreon.com/Willie Carell. And if you want to keep my rants and raves and all of that on the air, then you have to go become a patron at patreon.com/Willie Carell. As you can hear, we don't have advertisers. If you hear any advertiser on the show, it is either Spreaker putting it in. They pay me like $80 a month for those. Or YouTube putting it in, which never pays me. I haven't gotten any money from YouTube in forever. So there's that. But anyway, so we've got a great show for you today, and it's a wonderful, beautiful day here in Las Vegas. I am so glad. Granny and all the others are coming to the chat room, Phineas and James Schnabel and all of my regulars. So glad you all are here. Let's start with the American Heart Association. When MAHA, M-A-H-A, Make America Healthy Again, I guess is what it means. When they came out with the new food pyramid and everything, I knew what a crock of shit it was. You know, eat more meat, eat more dairy. You know, it was just, they're in the pockets of the meat and dairy industry. Plus, they don't know shit about health. So I knew that, you know, their recommendations were full of crap. Well, yesterday, the American Cardiology Association and the American Heart Association came out with their food pyramid. And what did they say? Well, they said to do exactly what I've been doing. More plant protein. Do not eat red meat at all. It said no red meat. And if you must eat meat, just do chicken or fish. And that's it. And of course, they said, get most of your protein from plant proteins. Now, you know, we talk a lot about this on my show because I am a vegan. And I really know the health benefits of being a vegan, plus the benefits for the planet. And that's the most important thing. And the benefits for society, for farmers, for, you know, living beings like cows and pigs and chickens. But Donald Trump has vilified vegan or vegetarian, if you prefer, as being woke, because they vilify anything that they don't understand and that they can't do. Well, the American Heart Association yesterday said, if you want to stave off a heart attack, you can lower your risk by over 1/3 by simply following this diet. And the diet they recommended was plant forward. Now, they did allow for chicken and fish and stuff like that, but the diet they recommend is plant forward. And so I want to begin the show by imploring you again, please turn to plants more than you do animals for your food. It's better for you. It's better for the animals. It's better for the environment. It's better for everything. So if it's better for everything, why not do it? I know that a lot of you think it's hard. They even mentioned this in the article, that many people think it's hard. It is not hard. It's getting harder in today's world because of Donald Trump and the Republicans and MAGA. And people see being a vegan or vegetarian as woke. And so the restaurants are taking away the entrees they had. Fully vegan restaurants are changing back. But it still can be done. And you will love the benefits. When we come back, the ultimate irony strikes Washington, D.C. yet again. Do they even get it?
If you're not visiting reallycorel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallycorel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Corel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Corel is the one that you need to know.
Everything is wonderful, everything is beautiful, but this is delicious, I'm telling you. So, I hate Kristi Noem. I think Kristi Noem should be thrown in jail for what she did as the head of the Department of Homeland Security. That being said, a delicious piece of irony happened yesterday. Kristi Noem is anti-drag and anti-trans vehemently. And, you know, everyone seems to be on that kick these days, and I don't get it, and I don't approve of it. If you are here and you're not a trans ally in every way, I don't really want you here. If you're not a gay ally, a lesbian ally, a drag queen ally, then why are you here? But that being said, and Kristi Noem, who's had an affair with Corey Lewandowski, so I don't like her. But what happened yesterday was just too delicious. So I am not going to show you the photos. I don't have permission, and I don't think he'd want it. Now, I have no problem with Kristi Noem's husband other than he's married to Kristi Noem. But that being said, I personally, he's not a public figure. He's not someone that should really be on our radar. But he came on our radar yesterday in a very big way when photos were released of him with giant balloon breast and panties and all of that. He's a cross-dresser. Now, I could care less. As you know, I support him. I embrace him. If that's what he wants to do, if that makes him happy, then sister, let your cross-dressing flag fly. No one in your world should really have a problem with it. It's something you like to do. I am not here to kink shame because I've done far worse, and I used to be a drag queen. So I have certainly cross-dressed, not for sexual pleasure. In fact, it's painful. But I've certainly worn women's clothing. I wore women's clothing yesterday. Vera Wang linen pants that were out of the women's department. So I have no problem with cross-dressing. And I have no problem with all of the balloon tits. That was a bit much. But the irony that her husband, Miss Anti-Trans, Anti-Drag, Anti-Gay, that her husband is a cross-dresser, that is delicious. The seated president of the United States, seated because he's old and infirm, before he decided to use his walker to get over to the Supreme Court today, commented yesterday how sad it is. Kristi Noem has asked for prayers through this difficult time. He didn't murder anybody, okay? He didn't oversee the murder of anybody, Kristi Noem. He simply is wearing women's clothing. He didn't even cheat on you like you did him. So this notion that he needs prayers, what he needs is a stylist. Okay, he doesn't need prayers. He needs a stylist because the balloon boobs and the weird panties and that just ain't working. But with a stylist, who knows what he could become? Maybe he could even become a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race. But the irony there and their reaction, I love their reaction. Pray for us. Oh, please. He's wearing fake boobs and panties. Oh, God. Girl, ain't no thing. So he cross-dresses. Really, ain't no thing. You don't need thoughts and prayers. You need more eyeliner and mascara. That's what you need. So, again, not kink-shaming the husband. Certainly not going to put his photos up because ultimately he doesn't want that. But, I think they should embrace him, but they can't. You see, that's who these people are. They would rather distance themselves and throw a loved one under a bus than actually just say, well, so what? Let's get him a stylist. Let's get him some new clothes. Call Chanel. But no. Now they're like, oh, please pray for us in these trying times. I mean, his nipples were kind of off-centered. I mean, all I would pray for him is that he learns how to readjust his boobs so the nipples are both facing forward, because he kind of had a cockeyed nipple. He had like one facing forward and one like looking up. So it could have been a birth defect, but I think it was just a balloon placement. And boy, does he want to be busty. Girl, he had the balloons, girl. I mean, the tatas for days. What did Shaka Khan say the other day? Today's singers want to sell more with their butt than they do their vocals. Well, he was going for the boobs, honey. I don't know if he was wearing the fake bottom because he was wearing a cute little pair of red panties. And you know what? And so what? I don't care. I mean, he didn't, he wasn't pretty. And he was doing the whole, with the cheeks, But their reaction, that's what's priceless. That is what's absolutely priceless. And, he didn't kill a puppy. His wife shot a dog. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, the husband has done no crime. The wife kills dogs, which means to me she's going to hell if there is one. Now, look, you all should know that cross-dressing, okay, is not drag. Her husband's doing it for sexual gratification, okay? That is a transsexual, not a transvestite, okay? Wait, am I right? Transgendered is if you believe you're in the wrong body or you have body dysmorphia. Transvestite is a drag queen, and transsexual is someone that dresses as the opposite sex for sexual gratification. So he is a transsexual. He is not a transgendered, nor is he a transvestite. He is not a sweet transvestite. We should take him to see Rocky Horror. Have you seen Luke Evans' package? Oh, it's the talk of Broadway. Because he wears like a almost transparent jockstrap. He's playing Rocky in Rocky Horror, Luke Evans. That man, oh, Lord, he's gay, and if I could be his husband, oh, my God. He's handsome, he's talented, and the boy has something that needs its own zip code, okay? I was like, oh, Luke, it's going to poke someone's eye out in the front row. So we should take Kristi Noem's husband to see that show. That way he could sing along. How do I see you met my faithful handyman? Oh, yes. I'm just a sweet transvestite from Washington, D.C. or South Dakota, wherever Kristi. I don't know if they had transsexuals in South Dakota, or North Dakota, or whatever bumfuck state she's from. But I guess they do. And so, if that's how he gets off, good for him. Really. If that's what gets his jollies going, good for him. I have no problem with it. His business. Do what you got to do. What you feel. Be who you want to be so it doesn't hurt anybody. But their reaction, MAGA's reaction, that's what's priceless. Suddenly he's a pariah. Suddenly he's not the How much love must she have for her husband to throw him under the bus that way? And instead of defending him and defending his right to do whatever he wants to do, oh no, Please pray for us. Please. Oh, my God. He's wearing panties. Oh, God. His only crime is his fashion sense. Okay? I mean, you know, he's obviously not gay. Okay? Anyone that's thinking he's gay, go look at the pictures. Not gay. No gay man would ever get in that kind of drag. He does it because it arouses him. And he was probably sharing those pictures with others who get aroused by that sort of thing. Again, no harm, no foul. Who cares? Okay, who cares? So, Christy, your husband just became the most interesting thing about you. Isn't that something? You're a dog killer. You know, you let your agents. Do you know that yesterday we found out that 75% of the people that ICE arrested in Missouri were not criminals? Had no criminal records, no criminal charges. Every one of them should sue the federal government for false arrest. Every single. That's how we stop ICE, by the way. There needs to be thousands of lawsuits brought against ICE by people who were arrested without a warrant and were not criminals. That's false arrest. That is a crime. They need to sue. Bankrupt ICE. You know? That's the thing to do. All right. So, yeah. The husband, I don't care. You know? I just don't care. So he's a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Who cares? I mean, who cares? And now he's the most interesting thing about Christy No, her husband, because he wears balloon boobs and panties that don't match. They did not match. I was like, dude, you need help. Call RuPaul. You know, call somebody. And their reaction is priceless. It's priceless. So I wanted to talk about that without kink shaming him, because I don't care if you dress. I don't care if you dress like a man, a woman. I don't care if you dress like a furry or a puppy. There's guys on the apps, on Scruff, they dress like dogs. They have like dog masks, they're leather masks with little ears, and they like want to behave like a puppy. I am not making this up. One even cruised me, and I was like, oh no, I got a dog. I don't need another. Besides, what if they're not housebroken? I ain't picking that up. Are you kidding me? So anyway, Embers is big enough, let alone from a human. You know, you would need a 13-gallon trash bag for that, not a little doggy bag. So yeah, no. But there are those people out there. They like to dress up as dogs. There are people that like to dress up as plushies and have sex. There are, who cares? It's your world. Get off in it like you want to. I truly don't care. And I have seen it all. Like at 63, having been gay my whole life, I've seen it all. Okay? There's nothing that would shock me. There are people that get off by being pierced and having their bodies mutilated, having needles stuck through them. I mean, there's 8+ billion people and 8 billion sexualities. No one sexuality is the same. That's why I've always wondered why we make such a big deal out of sexuality. Nobody's gayness is the same. Nobody's non-straightness is the same. No one's sexuality is the same. Everybody likes different things. He happens to like wearing balloon breasts and red panties. Who cares? Is he hurting anybody? No. Is he killing a dog? No. Is he being hypocritical? I don't know. I don't know if he shares his wife's beliefs. It would be sad if he did. All right. So we've got all that going on in the world, and that's delicious and fun. We got to have some fun, right? Because everything else is the fucking mess. MAGA, they're still defending Donald Trump. I don't understand how. I really don't at this point. And he's doing a big speech tonight about Iran. What is he going to say? Oh, I fucked up? I fucked up? What could he possibly say tonight about Iran? I totally fucked up. I shouldn't have attacked them. This was a bad idea. Now the son is the new supreme leader, and he's to the right of the father. We've now galvanized hatred towards America, And they're attacking their neighbors now, so we've caused unrest between them and their neighbors. Gas is soaring, and we might have to give up the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, what is he going to say? He's not going to go out and admit that he was a failure. He's not. So he's going to lie. So I'm not going to watch this speech tonight. It's just going to be one big lie after another because that's all he can do. Lie, intimidate, bully. This morning he threw Karen Levitt under the bus. I couldn't think of a nicer person to throw under a bus, but, he threw her under the bus. And I think she does a great job for him. And I know you're like, what? Karen Levitt goes out every day and sells his ridiculous policies, his stupid comments, and defends him from a media that wants to actually hear some truth. And she spins more than Pete Burns did in his song Right Round Like a Record. And so to say she's doing a bad job, no, hun, she's a reflection of your job. She amplifies your job. So if 97% of the stories are bad, hun, you're the problem, not her. But again, he can't comprehend that. You don't get it.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Rachel Capper, who is a font of information and a beauty, just summed up Trump's speech in one paragraph, because this is exactly what he's going to say. Ladies and gentlemen, we have won the war in Iran. We don't need the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to pull out. Fuck Europe. Fuck everybody else but the U.S. God bless America. That's that. I just saved you all from having to watch the speech. There it is. There it was. Right there. That's the speech. We won. We're the best. We're the greatest. We don't need Europe. Fuck Europe. We don't need the Strait of Hormuz. Let them go get their own oil. We're fine. Again, the Cartman regime. They did not respect our authority. And now they respect our authority. So now that they respect our authority, we're going to come home. Yep, he's Cartman. That's it. I'm done. I'm going home. He's Cartman. Respect my authority. I'm going home. So there, we should have Cartman. You know what? Someone should AI Cartman over his speech tonight. Take his speech and have Cartman say it. I bet AI would do that. Get a text of his speech and have Cartman deliver his speech. That would be fun. I wish I could call Matt and Trey. I used to know them, but I wish I could call them and say, hey, Matt, hey, Trey, after the speech tonight, could you please have Cartman deliver it? Because it would be more entertaining and the same substance, really. So, yeah, what's he going to say? I fucked up. I'm sorry. Gas is $5 a gallon. This morning, USA Today ran a story of things Americans are giving up so they can afford gas. And a new poll out today, two-thirds of the nation disagree with him on the economy. Two-thirds of the people surveyed feel that Donald Trump has tanked the economy. His approval rating is lower than Kristi Noem's husband's breast. I mean, truly. His approval rating is 33%, which means 67% of Americans disapprove with the job he is doing. Oh, there's some stray maggots. They come in my chat room and such, but they're the minority. Even their party is turning against him because MAGA realized they didn't get what they elected. They wanted someone to lower prices. He's raised every price everywhere around everything. They wanted someone to release the Epstein files. He hasn't, and he's heavily redacted them because he's in them. They wanted somebody to get us out of foreign wars. Instead, Ukraine is still fighting. Israel's still attacking Gaza and other countries. And then on Israel's behalf, we went after Iran. Is he going to say that tonight? I was bending over for my friend Benjamin Netanyahu, and right before he shoved it in with no lube, he said to me, I really need you to attack Iran. So, of course, I did. I mean, he's not going to say that. We all know that's what happened. but he's not going to say it. So MAGA didn't get what they voted for. And if they tell you they did, they're lying. They're justifying to themselves because they're idiots. But they didn't get what they voted for. And now they're disapproving. Hispanics have done a complete 180. No more support for Trump. How could they with what's happened with ICE? You know? So he's lost any support he had from minorities. He's lost a lot of... Joe Rogan said that he is tired. He's no longer MAGA. He said they're filled with nothing but dorks and nerds. That's what Joe Rogan, their patron saint, said. That MAGA is nothing but dorks and nerds. That's what he said. Go look it up. He said he is no longer MAGA. So when you got Joe Rogan jumping ship, Tucker Carlson is no longer MAGA, Marjorie Taylor Greene is no longer MAGA. When you have the biggest maggots in the world jumping ship, you've lost your base, honey. So, and he knows it. That's why this morning he's all 97% negative news coverage. It's got to be the media. It couldn't possibly be him. Couldn't be him or his policies. No. It's got to be the media. The media is the problem. Hun, the media is just reporting on what you're doing. If those stories are negative, it's because you're fucking up. But, of course, no one around him will tell him that. If I were Carolyn Levitt, I would have left my job today. She has to go out there every single day and lie for that man. Every day she has to go out and lie for him. Every day she has to go out and defend the indefensible. Every day. And this morning he tells her she's doing a bad job? Oh, I'd be like that. Fuck that. I'm out of here. You get some other lackey to go defend you in your job. But see, they have no principles. Carolyn Levitt will let the president deride her and her job in public and do nothing about it because she has no morals and no principles. Any principled human being would resign today. But she's not one. So she'll still be out there trying to defend him, trying to make sense of his policies or his word salads that he says, lying about his health. We all know he's sick as a dog. He's having more IV infusions in his hand than a vampire on fake blood. You know, his hand is a telltale sign. He has dementia. It's obvious he has dementia. No, my sister is now mentally altered. Friday, she is going to be switched to skilled nursing, and we have to apply for adult long-term care supplement, which is going to take months to get, but then will assist in helping with a nurse or with assisted living or something. So I know about demented, honey. And he cray-cray. His word salad, he's out of his mind. Tonight, I guarantee you he'll ramble. I guarantee you tonight he'll just prather on about something. Maybe he'll do his YMCA dance with the double jerking off of the guys. You know, where he wants the bukkake on the face, where he's, why? That's him. Gayest president ever. Have we ever had a president that acts like he's jerking off two people at once so they'll come in his face? Have we ever had one of those? I don't think we have. All right, when we come back, we are launching towards the moon. Artemis is fueled up and ready to go. Why? Why? Why are we going back to the moon? What is the real reason? Is it the water? Because we found water there. Is it to start a camp so we can then launch off to Mars? Why are we going back to the moon? I'll tell you. I'll tell you, honey. Don't go away. Stay right there, baby love. Stay right there.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Corralcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Corralcast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Carellcast, driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
I'm so glad there's some MAGA in the chat room with their ridiculous lies and stuff. I love that. I love that they show how ignorant and stupid they are, because they are. They think Donald Trump won this election. They actually believe that. They believe he won the election, when multiple credible sources say, no, he didn't. Why do you think they want to do away with voting machines after they relied upon them for his win? Why do you think they want to get away with mail-in voting, even though he himself votes by mail, and they relied upon that for his alleged win? Because they know that the voting machines can be hacked, and they know that mail-in voting can be manipulated. How do they know? Because they did it. And they didn't even hide it. He publicly thanked Elon Musk for hacking the computers, because his brain is so addled that he forgot that you're not supposed to say that stuff. So he publicly thanked Elon Musk for hacking the computers and handing him the win. The computer company that runs the voting machines is involved in a lawsuit right now from major tech companies. You don't hear about this lawsuit, but it's ongoing. And what's the premise? They're not supposed to update any software major on the voting machines without filing a notice and going through all these proper steps to make sure that the update is legit. 3 days before the election, they went through a major update, which they said were just bug fixes. Bug fixes, they don't have to register. Major updates, they do. So they lied and said it was just a bug fix, and Silicon Valley programmers proved that it was a major upgrade that they did not get pre-approval for. What do you think that major upgrade 3 days before the election did? What do you think it did? Occam's razor, people. What do you think it did? It handed him the election. He didn't win. He didn't win. There's no way in hell he won. But Democrats, unlike Donald Trump, accepted the results. They shouldn't have. Kamala Harris should have challenged the results in every single state where there were voting machines. Every state. Okay? She should have challenged it. She didn't. Kamala is a nice woman. She was not the candidate we needed. I think Pete Buttigieg would be a great candidate. And so does New Hampshire. They just did a poll and he came out on top. I imagine he's a top. But anyway, and what a great segue that would be. Wouldn't it be incredible? Go from Donald Trump to the first openly gay president. Wouldn't that just be spectacular? That would be so fabulous. But anyway, they're going to get slaughtered in the midterms, and they know it. He signed an executive order yesterday, okay? And this executive order was about voting, because his brain is so addled that he doesn't know that he can't do a thing when it comes to voting and how we vote, that's up to the states. The president of the United States has no executive power over voting. Now, he does want to compile a list through the DHS of every registered American citizen voter. Do you want him to have that list? No president has ever requested that. Do you want him to have your name on a list? That'll be challenged as well. And, the Supreme Court pretty much blows him every chance they get. We'll see how they do today with the birthright citizenship, which is unconstitutional. But for sure, the executive order he signed about voting, it won't ever happen. It's blatantly unconstitutional. The states determine how they run their elections. If states want mail-in votings, they'll do it. If states, whatever the state wants to do is what they're going to do. And the federal government cannot stop them. And if they try, they'll be taken to court. So he can sign any executive order he wants. It might as well be used for toilet paper. Because he does have diarrhea all the time. He wears a diaper. So, it might as well be used to mop up his mess because it ain't going to ever see the light of day. So sign what you want.
If
Of course,
you're
now
not visiting reallycorrell.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallycorrell.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Corel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Corel is the one that you need to know.
Alrighty. Oh, there's so much going on. Why are we going to the moon? Why? Because of money. It's all about money. That's why we're going to the moon. For money. There are rare earth minerals. I don't know, are they still going to be called earth minerals? Well, yeah, the moon is actually made of the earth. So I guess they are rare earth minerals. Do any of you even know how the moon got there? What's going on? Oh, there's a dog at my door, and it's not Ember. Do any of you know how the moon got there? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Any of you? Any of you know? Since we're going to the moon, Artemis is all fueled up, ready to go. Do any of you know how the moon got there? Anybody? Anybody in the chat room? Does anybody know how the moon got there? And did you know there used to be two of them? Did you know that? Planet Earth used to have two moons. So here's how it happened. Planet Earth was just sitting around in the galaxy. I know James Schnabel knows this, by the way. Planet Earth was just sitting around in the galaxy, having a good time, circling the sun and all that, having fun. And a planet, not an asteroid, a planet named Thea came along and slammed into planet Earth. I mean, baby. Boom. I mean, it sounded like those two balloons that Christy Noem's husband's got popping, boom, just boom. And debris went all through the universe, child. And out of that debris came our moon. Yes, sir. In fact, the core of the moon is made of the same stuff as the core of planet Earth. Because the moon was part of Earth and Thea. They combined, sort of. So that's how we got the moon. And we got two of them. After a few thousand years, the second one just spun off into space. Said, I'm out of here. Bye. But our moon stayed. Did you all know that the moon moves away from Earth every year? And one day it will, in fact, spin out of our orbit. We won't have a moon. You won't be alive. Cher might be, but you won't be. I won't be. And did you know? Okay, so look at your fingernails. Okay? Look at your fingernails. When you cut your nails again, when they get a little long and you cut them, that's the amount that the moon moved away from the planet in that time frame. So if you cut your nails all the way down, and then in a month, cut your nails again, that much of the nail that you cut off is about how far the moon has moved away, because it moves away about the same speed as your nails grow. So one day it won't be there. So it makes sense that there are rare earth minerals on the moon, since the moon came from the earth. Now, I know a lot of you don't know that, but I do, because I'm an astronomer. I have a telescope, and I've spent many a night staring up at planets. Oh, after Andrew died, I was always in the backyard. And I think part of me, I know this sounds odd, but I was searching the galaxy for him. I was like, maybe he's out there somewhere. I love Saturn. I love looking at Saturn. It makes me so happy to look at Saturn and its moons. I love the rings. I know how they were created. I know. And one of the most incredible photographs I have ever seen was taken from the other side of Saturn by Voyager or one of the probes. And in the rings of Saturn, in the upper left ring, you can see Earth. And it's just this little tiny fucking speck just in the corner of the rings. Looking at the universe made me so aware of how insignificant we are. Donald Trump doesn't mean shit. Okay? We are a tiny speck amongst billions of other tiny specks in a universe filled with tiny specks. We are dust particles on the back of a mite. We're nothing. We're nothing. In the grand universal scale, we ain't shit. All this self-importance of humans will be gone. Dinosaurs lasted far longer than humans are going to last. Dinosaurs were around for millions of years. Humans ain't been around but for a couple 100,000. I mean, we're relatively new and we're already on our path to extinction. So we're not a great species. We're not going to last. And the notion that we need to explore space as another home for us is ridiculous. We should take care of this one. Carl Sagan believed that we should not have manned space flights, that only robots and things should go to space, and we should spend all of our efforts trying to make planet Earth great. So we're going to the moon for money. The United States wants to lay a claim, start a moon base, and at that moon base, they'll do two things. Mine for minerals that are worth something, and prepare a base that can then launch off to Mars. Because for some reason, we're determined to go to Mars. An inhospitable planet. You know, there are moons around Jupiter, like Io, that are far more hospitable to humans. And Io has all the makings of life, all of it. It's spewing organic matter into the atmosphere, Io, or into the galaxy, Io is. Oh, I know. I am an astronomer. I know so much about the planets and our galaxy. And I know the only reason we care about the moon is because there's money in it. You know, I used to watch Space 1999, and I fully believed that it went by night. You know, it was on in the 70s. And I fully believed that by the 90s, we would have a moon base. I've always thought it would be a great place for prisoners. I mean, they can't escape. Wouldn't it be great? We could save a fortune. We would, you know, these lifers that are murderers and felons that are just beyond, you know, beyond redemption, send them to the moon. We'll never see them again. And guess what? They can't escape. They go outside, they die. So we're going to the moon for money. Make no mistake. I have a racist friend at the park, and today she said, did you see the astronauts? They made a big deal about one being a black person and one being a Canadian and one being a woman. What about the white guy? I said, well, technically the Canadian's a white guy. She goes, yeah, but why do they have to make a big deal because of the black guy? I said, because there's been very few black astronauts. Well, why is that? I said, racism? And she said, no, it's because they didn't qualify. They're not as smart as we are. Oh, God. I mean, she's a sweet old lady, but, you know, she's, you know. And yes, I know we are explorers. I know that we like to, you know, go out to the world. But, Amber, what's wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. There's another dog out there. I guess I shouldn't leave the front door open. But it's only like 68 degrees outside, and I thought, oh, fresh air. But Amber can't handle the neighbor's dog coming and going, obviously. She's out there making noises like a seal. Amber, you sound like a seal. Yeah, you sound like a seal, little girl. You're not a seal. You're a dog. Okay? You're not seal. You get no kisses from roses. So, you know, the moon is there and we're going to go exploit it. Who knows? We may fuck it up. I've seen a lot of science fiction where we go to the moon and we totally fuck it up. And then it goes off its orbit and, you know, it's coming to crash into us, or it spins out. Without the moon, we have no tides, honey. So, you know, we better not fuck up the moon. I mean, we fucked up this planet. What makes us think we're going to take care of the moon? That's my problem with space exploration. Yes, we are explorers, but we fuck up everything we do. Everywhere we explore, we destroy. Everywhere. Look at our planet. We have completely destroyed our planet. The weather system, the ability of us to live on it, we've destroyed it. So we'll just go destroy another planet and another planet after that. If I were an alien and a human, came to my planet, I'd probably kill him. Or tell him to go home and tell other humans to not come back or they'll be harmed. Because the worst thing that could happen to an alien civilization is to meet a human. We destroy everything we touch. So we're not a great species. We're not a species that should be spreading out into the galaxy. We're a plague. And the galaxy won't treat us kindly. You wait and see. Aren't you the ones from planet Earth? Well, yes. Didn't you destroy your planet and destroy nature and kill all the animals and eat them? And you're barbaric. I've watched The Twilight Zone. I've seen Black Mirror. I know how this goes. But we're going. Artemis is fueled up. It's going to shoot out into space like a giant phallic symbol. It's going to circle the moon in preparation for us going back and landing on it. I see no need, but big business does. It's like diamonds. Do you know we have found asteroids that are solid diamond? We have found them. We know they exist. And you know why we won't bring any of it here? Because the minute we did, our diamond market would completely devalue. Just completely. All of our water came from space. Planet Earth, when Thea hit it, there was no water. We did not have water on Earth for millions and millions of years. Our water came from asteroids from the Kuiper Belt. We have matched the water on planet Earth to water from asteroids from the Kuiper Belt. That's where our water came from. And so did the building blocks for life. They were not on planet Earth. Everything that we love about our planet came here from space, including us. We are stardust. We are literally stardust. Sodium, magnesium, calcium. These are all things found inside asteroids and inside comets. And every day those things fall from the universe onto planet Earth. Every day the Earth is showered in things in stardust. And that's who we are. We are made up of that. We are made up of stardust. We are not from planet Earth. Planet Earth was the mixing bowl. It's like saying your cake is from the mixing bowl. It's not. Planet Earth was the mixing bowl. Water came here from the Kuiper Belt. Other organisms came here from other places in space. They all got together down by a lava tube at the bottom of the ocean. And voila, here we are. But we're not originally from here. We're all aliens. That's why when they all say, oh, they're an illegal alien. We're all illegal aliens. We're all aliens. We did not come from this planet. How do I know? Because we are 90+% water, and water is not indigenous to this planet. Okay? So how can an organism that needs water, that is made of water, come from a planet with no water? We didn't. And that's just science. I know it boggles some of your minds. It really does. Our diamond market has tanked due to lab-created diamonds. Why? I love the idea of creating diamonds in a lab. This whole idea of rare, of expensive gems. I love my diamond that Andrew gave me. It's 2 carats and it's fabulous. It's worth 10 grand. I love it. But I've never seen the value in rocks. Like, I love, my favorite are rubies and emeralds. Those are my favorite. I should get a ruby ring. I love rubies. I adore rubies and sapphires and emeralds. Diamonds, but rubies and sapphires and emeralds, oh my God, I love them. They're so pretty. The red ones, those are rubies. The green ones, emeralds, sapphires. Oh, they're gorgeous. More so than a diamond. A diamond is just this bright, shiny little mirror ball. And I love my diamond, but I love because it came from Andrew. He picked it out. He had it flown here. He literally had a diamond flown here to make sure that it was not a blood diamond. He bought it from a jeweler in Israel and had it flown to America. My diamond. Yeah. So, I've never been one for that kind of bling. But, hey. So we'll see what's on the moon, what we can mine, what we can rape and pillage. And then once the moon is used up, we'll go to another planet. What we do, go to planet, rape and pillage them, and then leave. That's what we're trying to do with this one. Rape and pillage it, and leave.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Remember the coup? Is that your handle? Remember the coup? He said, who the hell is this guy? I'm your daddy, baby. I'm your friend. I'm your lover. I'm the one you should discover. I'm the queen. Oh, the bitch is back. Oh, yes. I am the queen. That's who I am. You want to know who I am? Do your fucking research, Rube. I've been on the radio for 30 fucking years. Who are you? That's a better question. Don't ask who's this guy. This guy's got a Wikipedia page. This guy's got an online bio. There are more articles online by me and about me than almost anybody on the planet. Who the fuck are you? Come in my chat room asking who I am. It's my chat room. It's my channel. Who the fuck are you? Anyway. So President Trump tonight is going to come to the nation and lie. I won in Iran. Iran was the best. It's the biggie. It's there's never been such a war. Oh, what a war this has been. And never in the histories of wars has there been a more successful war than the war. Oh, wait, it's not a war. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Never in the history of excursions has there been a more successful excursion than the one we just did in Iran. And we didn't go there for Israel. All of you saying we went there for Israel. We didn't go there for Israel. That's what he's going to say tonight. If he can get out from the Supreme Court. I mean, there's a lot of steps. And they're not half steps. Like he now walks up for Air Force One because he's infirm. So I don't know how he's going to get out of the Supreme Court. Are they going to take him down a ramp? Maybe, probably. Because God knows he can't walk anymore. He can waddle. He got that presidential waddle going on. But, Joe Biden could beat the fuck out of Donald Trump in a race. I guarantee you. Prostate cancer and all. Put Joe Biden on a bicycle and put Donald Trump on a bicycle. I guarantee you Joe Biden can ride further and faster than Donald Trump. I love how MAGA always makes fun of sleepy Joe Biden and your zombie president Joe Biden. And they literally support a guy that shits his pants in a diaper in the Oval Office. Okay? Joe Biden could make it to the bathroom. Okay? He did not have to wear a diaper. Donald Trump does. Joe Biden could walk up the stairs of Air Force One. Oh, he tripped every so often. He's fucking 80 years old. You'll trip at 82. Donald Trump had to have the stairs redone to half steps. And these people act like he is in some way healthier than Joe Biden. Joe Biden had a stutter. Donald Trump has dementia. So tonight he'll go out and prove how demented he is. He'll lie a lot, and then it'll be over. And then the British media, BBC, and the world's media will pick apart all of his lies, and the American media will just gobble it up. He is right about how ineffective the American media has become. And that's because his friends own most of it. CBS News, well, they might as well take the word news out of CBS. So the two shouldn't even be equated anymore. It's become Fox News Light. But even Fox News, several commentators have talked about how unpopular he is, how his policies don't make sense, how he's responsible for the bad economy. So even his friends at Fox are turning against him. So that's what's going to happen. And, Congress, look, he just got told to stop building the ballroom. Why? Because only Congress can approve changes to the White House. He seems to think that by executive order, he can rule the world. He can't. And a judge yesterday said, whoa, only Congress can approve this. Stop. Only Congress can approve war. The bigger problem here is not Donald Trump. It's Congress. Every Republican, hopefully, will be removed. Every Republican up for re-election in the midterms, hopefully, will be removed because they're not doing their job. Not that the Democrats are doing much better. They're not meeting the moment. They're not. And they think the way to meet the moment is to stop talking about divisive issues. Wrong. We need more Mandamis. That's what we need. We need democratic socialism. That's what we need. Mamdani is a wonderful person. If he could run for president, I'd totally vote for him. He's really great. And he's done more in his short time in New York than any other politician has done for their city or state. We need more of him. So Democrats, old Democrats, Chuck Schumer, go home. All the old Democrats should just go home. And let some younger Mamdani types come in. Because that's what we need. We need people who will challenge MAGA on like James Tallarico. Wonderful guy. Love him. I don't like how religious he is, but he doesn't want me to force it on me. So, okay. I like him. I like him a lot. We need more of those. We need more people who can look at conservatives and play their game. As Lauren Boebert was spouting religion at him, he turned it right around on her and made her look like an idiot on the Bill Maher show, which, it isn't that hard to make Lauren Boebert look like an idiot. She pretty much does it to herself, but he really did a great job. So we need more Democrats like that because Congress is possibly the most inept and duplicitous body on the planet right now. It is their fault. Iran is Congress's fault. They could have stopped the president. They didn't. The White House being torn down, the East Wing, Congress's fault. Him trying to rename every building with his name on it, Congress's fault. They're the reason Donald Trump is behaving the way that he is. He is a child, and he has no parenting right now. Congress is supposed to be mom and dad. They're not. And I hope that they end up getting thrown out on their keisters. All of them. I wouldn't mind if we had 500 plus new members. So on both sides. And no one should be over 50 in Congress. Nobody. Go home at that point. You can be president in your 60s and even in your 70s. But Congress? Nah. Under 50. Then go back to your life. And no one should be in Congress longer than 10 years. Nobody. Period. End of story. 10 years. That's it. After that, go back to your life. The founders never intended for people to be in Congress 1,000 years. As Mitch McConnell has to be held up. He's like Weekend at Bernie's now. I am Carell. Be who you want to be. So don't hurt anybody. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, for the final show of the week. I hope you all have a really great time.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Carellcast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Carellcast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Carell is so near.